Hello, Dunecrest America School. I hope everyone is having a fantastic week this second week of August. We're down to the countdown until the first day of school on August the 30th, 2020. Last week, I gave a very long and involved talk about our back to school plan, and so I will not recap all that we went over last week. You can always watch that video again. It's on our YouTube page there, so you're welcome to look at that anytime you like. I do want to go over, though, some of the questions that have been sent to us since then, and then also just a few little tidbits of additional information. So our plan continues to stay basically the same. There's been some minor updates to that as we've received additional requirements and regulations from KHD and DHA, and we will continue to monitor all that they send us to make sure that we begin school safely. The main thing I'll tell you right now is to be smart and to stay apart. And today we put down over 2,000 floor stickers to make sure that we help each other with reminding one another to stay at least 2 meters apart while we're in the building together, okay? And so first and foremost, with our reopening plan, it starts obviously with our mission and vision and our pillars. And I just wanted to remind everybody about one thing, and that is part of our pillars at Dunecrest American School is we persevere when things are hard, and we learn to turn challenges into opportunities. And the reason why I'm saying that is there will be changes this year, and some of them will be hard, and we'll think, why in the world do we have to do this? I just want to be back to normal where there is no social distancing or anything else that goes on. Physical distancing. We don't social distance from each other. We just physical distance from each other. And the reason why we need to keep each other safe. And so that's why we do that. But we will persevere, my students, and we will make this all work. Okay, so straight to our questions now that we received since our last video. And again, if you have additional questions that you want to ask, you're welcome to send those to marketing@dunecrest.ae, and we'll be glad to answer those for you. So the first question, is there any notification from KHDA as to the requirement for students to have a negative PCR result prior to return to school? If so, is the test free for students? And so the answer to that question is no, there is not a requirement for a PCR test to return to school in Dubai. There happens to be a requirement in some of the other Emirates, but there is not one for Dubai at this point. And so we do not require that either. Next question, face mask. Is there any stipulation on the type of face mask required for students? Example, can they be disposable or otherwise? And so no, there is not a requirement. The only thing that we say is we do need to follow Dubai Health Authority guidelines. And so you can always look that out. Typically, I wear the disposable mask. And so you can see these, and they're very comfortable, don't have a big problem. That happens to be what I do just because in going in and out of so many places, it's nice to have some extras. And so that's what I choose to do. But if you want one made of cloth, I know mine happens to be of a material that sometimes it scratches people. I know they don't like that. So if you want one made out of cotton or whatever, it doesn't matter to us. As long as they meet the DHA guidelines, we are fine with it, okay? Next question. Is there a requirement for families who have traveled outside of UAE to return within 14 days of school restarting? And so there is not a travel per se guideline for any of our families. However, if you have traveled outside of UAE, you must meet the requirements of the Dubai Health Authority as you come back into the country and also before you may return to school. So there's pretty extensive guidelines depending on what country you visit on what you have to do to come back into the country. And so we depend on the federal government and the Dubai government
Alert
to
from
make
system
sure that
server.
they take care of that. And so we don't add additional requirements. However, one of the requirements is that you have to have a COVID-19 test when you return back to Dubai, and you're not allowed to leave your home until you have received word from Dubai Health Authority that you are negative, that you tested negative on that. And so once you tested negative, you should be good to go and you should be fine, okay? Next question. Mr. Bill, can't. Oh my God. I probably should proofread these before I start reading them. It says, Mr. Bill, can I send my kids back to you tomorrow? We need them out of the house. So the answer to that would be no, you cannot send me your children back tomorrow. Our first day of school is August the 30th, and I will take them then, okay? But until then, we need them to stay at home. But good try there. I understand that, parents. I have 4 kids of my own, so I'm living this with you. I totally understand it. All right. It was noted, next question, it was noted that physical education classes for pre-K to grade 5 students can wear their PE uniforms on school days, PE days. What rules apply to grade 6 and above regarding, changing for PE uniforms? So that will be decided by, I apologize, that will be decided by Mr. Hould and Mr. Carter. And so they will be sending that to you as soon as possible. Matter of fact, it'll be the week of the 16th. I know that was discussed today, and so they will send that to you soon, okay? And so now you just got to see an example. Now, normally, I would, once I cough, then I would need to leave and go wash my hands. So as soon as I finish this interview with you, this video, then I will go wash my hands because I did cough. And remember, students, we either cough into our hands or into our elbow. So we always sneeze or cough into our elbow. It's the best place to do that, okay? Next question. What procedure will we follow if a student becomes symptomatic at school? And so this will be in our plan. And if I remember correctly, this is going to be on page 6 in section B. And this is page 6. Section B, and yes, it is. It's covered right here. So I'm in the 1, 2, 3, 4th paragraph of section B, and it says students at school who show signs of COVID-19 symptoms or have a temperature of 37.5 degrees or higher will be sent home immediately. The student will immediately be taken to the school clinic and will be placed in the school's isolation room with our school nurse or our school doctor, who will be in PPE attire. A member of the school leadership team or the school nurse will phone a parent to make arrangements for you to immediately come and pick up your sick child, okay? So that's how that works. We will stay with them. We don't want a child to go into panic mode, but they do have to go home. Also, remember, if your child is sick, they may not come home by the school bus. They have to be picked up by you, okay? And then at that point, you'll need to take them to the doctor to get them taken care of, okay? Next question. What is the class size of grade 1? And does it change any because they do not have to wear a mask? And no, the maximum class size for grade 1 is 22 students, and that continues to be what it is. Our classes have not reached those numbers, and so we should be in great shape. Next question. KHDA put a cap on the number of days a student can miss with their attendance before they no longer receive credit for school for the year. Will this be adapted? And so the answer to that is a yes and a no. So let's say that your child does get sick sometime during the year. If they have COVID-19, or even if they have symptoms, and we as a family and a school believe that they need to stay at home for the safety and welfare of all of our other students, those schools missed school days would be excused, okay? And so will we apply for a waiver to change that? Absolutely, we would. So it's always handled on an individual case. If it's an issue where someone just wants to be lazy and not come to school, no. We need to be at school. We need to be doing our work, doing our homework, and getting smarter by the day. And so that's how we want to make sure that happens. The rest of the plan is here. I will attach it to the video once again, and so you're welcome to read that. And as always, I always like to end on the final part of our back-to-school plan, and it says, in conclusion, we need all members of our community to accept new responsibilities within this changed environment we will experience over the next year, because things will change. It will not be back to normal when first day of school, okay? We will be very structured and very strict on our physical distancing that goes on in the building. And this is to keep everyone safe, though, okay? We want to learn. We want to learn in a great environment, but we have to do this in a controlled environment. And so it will be very strict. So I just want everybody to know that up front, okay? Acting with self-awareness and sensitivity to others will be key. We have to make sure we keep other folks in mind. It's not all about ourselves. We have to think about others too. We must learn to recognize that changes must be embraced and supported with enthusiasm. Okay? Always it's about your attitude. Have a positive disposition, a positive outlook on things, and it will help things go by much better. Parents, when your child expresses frustration with the rules that limit their social interaction, express your understanding, but discourage their cynicism and remind them that the measures are in place to keep everyone safe. When your child has a cough or a fever or complains of not feeling well, please keep them home until they are asymptomatic, okay? So that's very important. If your workplace has a particular innovative way to address safety, please share it with us. We want to know some of the other ideas that people have because we don't have 100% of every answer. If there's ways that someone's being very inventive or creative to keep their people safe, we want to know about that so we can copy those great things. We are the Dunecrest Eagles, and we will soar, my friends, to new ideas, to new heights, and we will find a positive way to reopen our schools safely and to continue our journey of educational excellence. We will do this together. We will do it safely, and we want to keep everyone healthy. Again, if you have any questions, send them our way. Those were our questions for the week. Next week, as we know, August the 16th, the week of August the 16th, that's when we'll release our videos so you can see your fellow students, showing you how to get on the buses, how to walk down the halls, how to come into the building, how to put your mask away at lunchtime, and how you'll do this safely. So this is all the videos that will come out next week. In addition, next week, you will receive a travel declaration form that asks you if you have traveled, and if you have traveled, then you'll need to show that we have received a negative COVID-19 test. And so those declaration forms come out next week. Okay? Have a great day, and I hope you have a wonderful finish to your summer. And I look forward to seeing everyone our first day of school on August the 30th.